Thanks, guys. Great to be here. And so this one out of the land of fruits and nuts, California, of course, at the cutting edge of techno tyranny. They just released a press release saying they're making rapid progress on a new statewide database that has already integrated over 1 billion data points on children in the state. And they expect to vacuum up billions more data points. For some perspective, if you divide a billion by the number of government school victims they have in California, about 6 million, that works out to about 166 data points per child. Just let that sink in. And they want a whole lot more. Supposedly, they're going to transform education and they're going to improve career outcomes by providing transparency. And when they say transparency, they mean transparency for you. In other words, no more privacy. Every element of your life, your mind will be open for tracking, surveillance, storage, analysis, and of course, sharing. They're collecting data on mental health, dental health, your academics, your attitudes. What is your home life like? They're doing sexual surveys, and it's all being vacuumed up into this monstrous thing they call the Cradle-to-Career data system. Already they're getting data, they say, from government schools, social services, healthcare, workforce agencies, and a whole lot more all into this system. And they plan, like I said, to add many, many more sources of data. The governor actually said they're on, I'm quoting here, on the verge of uniting information from disconnected data across sectors. He says this is going to give the government insights previously unavailable into every child as they gather and analyze more of their very sensitive and very private data. And of course, this will be analyzed by artificial intelligence as well. Now, Governor Newsom says by leveraging billions of data points, California's Cradle-to-Career data system will be a game changer for improving the quality of life for millions of Californians and highlighting ways to improve opportunity in the classroom and access to the workforce. And of course, this is the same guy who just last month we reported on was viciously attacking schools that didn't want children to have books featuring incest, rape of babies, sex with dogs. Yep, that's the same guy who wants all this data on your children. Now, without a trace of irony, he said that this Orwellian new system they're building was going to be a means of promoting freedom. You can't even say it with a straight face. He says, though insights and innovation only made possible by this system, the Golden State is leading the nation in equitably connecting our education system to the workforce to ensure every Californian has the freedom to succeed. And man, does that sound like something the communist Chinese would do, right? Mm-hmm. Anyways, folks, even though they say these goals are just about better careers and better things like that, really, there's much more, actually. And we've been covering this here at the Newman Report for a long time. The U.S. Department of Education, over a decade ago, put out this incredible document. It was in 2012. It was called an issue brief, Enhancing Teaching and Learning through Educational Data Mining and Learning Analytics. And what they actually reveal in this document is they're going to use all this data to ultimately predict the future attitudes and behaviors of your children, folks. And so what's happening here, they're gathering all this data at the state level. All these state databases will be linked together, these state longitudinal databases. And here's what the U.S. Department of Education document says. It says a predictive model combines demographic data from an external student information system and learning behavior data from the student learning database to track a student's progress and make predictions about his future behaviors or performance. Oh my goodness, guys, this is where it's going. They talk about how they're going to use these technologies to gather and analyze fine-grained learner behaviors. Folks, this is just incredibly dangerous. Now, I did speak to Brenda Lebsack. She is a former retired school board member out there, California teacher, and also has developed quite a national platform now. She's been published all over, interviewed all over the place for her profound insights into education. And she sent me this. She said, parents should be concerned about all the outside agencies now partnering with public schools that not only have access to their children, but who can collect data on their kids and share that data. She says these outside agencies do not have to comply with the same standards and laws for surveying minors as the school or local education agency does. She actually sent me a note from the federal government agreeing with that they don't have to comply with these same protections for privacy like FERPA, etc. She says this is another layer of deception. So parents should guard against this false sense of security given by their schools. And folks, when you combine this all-intrusive data system with the social emotional learning curricula, right, where they're trying to give children new attitudes, new values, new beliefs. This depends on the data gathering. They need to know, does the child agree with the values we're promoting? If not, we need to manipulate those. So we need to keep coming back and circling back with interventions until these children believe the way we want them to believe. Folks, this is a recipe for total tyranny and for total control of the minds of young people. The last thing in the universe that would be tyrants like Governor Newsom and Joe Biden and California Democrats need is detailed information on every single one of your children. Folks, this is a recipe for a panopticon-style surveillance state that will inevitably produce tyranny, right? It's not like a maybe. It will inevitably produce tyranny. Parents, if you love your children and you live in California, you got no option but to get out of the government's indoctrination system, masquerading as a school system. And at this point, you probably ought to even consider leaving the state, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Thanks.